got some news for you. Let's start off with some MCU news first. Apparently, they've agreed, or I think they've agreed to put Stan Lee, AI Stan Lee, to appear in future movies. So I'm sure there's some kind of agreement that happened with his family or something like that. I'm hoping so, obviously. So, you know, trying to keep him like with AI and all the technology they do these days, they could definitely put him in there for small little cameos, which is, I don't know. I mean, if they pull it off, I mean, he is missing. I'm not gonna lie, he is missing, like seeing him in all those movies. So, you know, that could be a cool thing. It could be a cool, especially in something like Fantastic Four, future Spider-Man movies. You know, I think that would be cool if they can pull it off. Even maybe if he just doesn't say anything, but just has a moment, and you're just kind of like, where's Wally? Like, where's Stan? You know, just be in there somewhere. I think that's amazing. My opinion. I just hope they do it ethically. They do it ethically, if that's the fucking word. And you know, spoke to his family and whatnot. I apologize, guys. I literally can't breathe, so I'm gassing out trying to talk. I'm getting frustrated because I can't even talk. All right. Wesley Snipes apparently might be returning as Blade in this whole multiverse saga. So I'm seeing a lot of rumors about that. All of this stuff could be rumors, guys. Like these things here. Thanos returning, just Josh Brolin returning as Thanos. RDJ said he wouldn't mind coming back as Iron Man. Chris Evans says he wouldn't mind coming back as Cap. This all could be fake news, but I don't know. There is the multiverse. There is Secret Wars. So we don't know. We don't know. It could be fake news. It might not be. So just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. There's a possibility that they could all come back and give us Secret Wars, which is absolutely amazing. Chris Hemsworth has been talking about Thor: Love and Thunder, and he says that he can't forgive himself for Love and Thunder, just letting, like, he just feels like he didn't hit it. Like he I think it's come to him like where that movie was so, and the character on that in that movie, it was just so bad. He feels like he can't forgive himself for that performance. Not saying that his performance was bad, but just that the performance of the character portrayal in that movie was just terrible. And it feels like all the jokes and they got too silly and whatnot. So I think he's having a little bit of regrets because, you know what, Thor adapt or evolved so great as a character in the MCU from, you know, the boring methodological character to a bit more of a fun, badass character to Endgame, to having that epic moment, to just completely being a fucking bimbo in Thor: Love and Thunder. You know, I agree. Like, you shouldn't have completely destroyed that character like that. So I'm hoping when they move on to the next one, he has a bit of say, and the team has a bit of say, and they'll be like, look, let's make it fun and relatable, but he's Thor. He's the god of thunder. Let's keep that element in there. So anyway, he's been talking about that. The greatest superhero movie of all time is coming out on Netflix on May 14th, Madam Web. So guys, check it out. I'm joking. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't diss it like that. But if you haven't seen Madam Web and you want to spend like 5 minutes a day for the next like couple of weeks, do that. Watch 5 minutes a day. I'm sure that you could tolerate that, to watch Madam Web, coming out on Netflix on May 14th. DC News. James Gunn's plans for a live action Justice League Dark movie with Constantine as the main character and other Justice League characters. So that would be pretty awesome if they make a live action adaptation of that. I think there's so much for the Justice League for them to do in a live adaptation. We'll see. I think there's so much potential, so much time, and James Gunn's are going to be obviously managing all of that. I think there's a lot to look forward to in that.
No, definitely, without doubt, bro. Look, you know, James is really good at what he does. He loves the content, bro. If you look at his social media, he's always shouting out the original creators of these characters. So good on him. He'll smash it, bro. Listen, bro. He'll smash it. I'm looking forward to it. Because his Suicide Squad for DC was amazing. Probably one of the best ones out of that DC, whatever came out. Yeah. I still love, like, Man of Steel. Man of Steel is going to be my top. You know what I mean? But, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. But then after that, you know, there was Suicide Squad, which was absolutely amazing. So, no, good on him, bro. Listen, man, he's bringing the hype at the moment for DC, which they need that loving, bro. I'm on a beef I get into because I'm a DC fan. It's jokes, bro.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, the thing is, yeah, I don't know. People go crazy about this side. I'm this side and that side. It's like, man, just enjoy all of it. I love them all. Yeah.
I love them all.
All right, other movie news. Some more movie news to just quickly go through. Jumanji 4 in the works.
Jumanji 4. When was there? Jumanji 2 or 3, bro?
Isn't like the one with Kevin Hart and the what part and what's his name? Jack Black and
oh shit, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I completely forgot.
I feel like Jumanji 1 was the original one with Robin Williams, and then you had 2 and 3 with
The Rock and Kevin Hart.
The Rock and Kevin Hart, right? And now they got number 4, I believe so. Anyway, they're in the works. Okay. Jeff Bridges returns to the grid in Tron Ares, so that should be awesome. Mike Myers possibly returning as in Austin Powers 4. Haven't heard from him in a while. Matrix 5 apparently is in the work.
Yeah, I heard about that, bro. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Please, no. I did a video on this, like don't ruin that something that was already really good and a cult classic. Like, why are you adding to it? It's pointless. Like Fast and Furious, you could get away with it. It's an action film, you know. You could continue. You could do 20 of those movies. I'll still enjoy and watch them. You know what I mean? But come in, man. Matrix, man. Oh, all-time classic.
It struggled with the part 3, and then
yeah, definitely.
And then part 4 was absolutely tense, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why? And now they're gonna make a part 5. Like, what the fuck? Even more. Like, just leave it. Stop ruining the legacy. But you know, number 1's always going to be fantastic. Like, want to be one of the greatest movies in the 90s for sure. What else? Sausage Party, Foodtopia. This is coming out this summer on Amazon Prime. So Seth Rogen posted something about that. That should be interesting. That movie was funny. I really enjoyed that. That cartoon was hilarious. Wicked. So you know, just having a show on Amazon Prime will be funny. Godzilla Minus One is coming out on Amazon Prime 3rd of May. Brilliant. If you haven't seen that, there's your opportunity to check that out. And then lastly, finishing off, apparently The Rock is causing a lot of issues and has caused like $250 million on the set of his new movie. Apparently they say, like, I've been reading some stuff that he's just being very unprofessional, being late, all this sort of stuff. I don't know what's going on. I mean, he seems like the nicest, hardworking guy ever. But I don't know, this could be some bullshit. Maybe we should even be talking about it and spreading rumors, or if it's not rumors, but I've been seeing a lot of things about it. But interesting why that will come out. I just feel like The Rock's what type of guy who just constantly grinding and is a professional and whatnot. So I don't know where this comes from, but
it's random, man. I just feel like some people just put out shit just to out people, which is a shame. It just feels like the industry we're in is a bit all over the place, bro. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, look, any other news? Anything else to cover? Any other?
Just trying to out. Sorry. Everybody's just trying to out people. You know what I mean? It's like something shit has to come out to create a buzz. And I wouldn't be surprised. He probably put that out there just to create buzz around the movie. So people will watch it. Oh, a reminder. I know Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, but this movie's coming out with Chris Evans. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to see it slowly as marketing, bro. And because we both work in marketing, you do something outlandish, talk about it, man. Failures, all the rest of it. People are gonna negative. We know that now. Social media is all about negativity. 100% negativity. Because when people go on there, they keep thinking negative shit. I wish I was like that. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. People forget to use it's a tool. It's a tool. Listen, man, 19,000 followers I hit, yeah? I still get 10 likes. I still get 100 views. That shit doesn't bother me because I see it as my catalog of like, oh, look at this memory here. You know, I always go through it because I got memories. So that's why I said, like, the other day I was reminded about celebrating those little wins. Every post I make is a win because either my daughter stood up, I finished off a drawing, I got through the day. It's about little wins, man. And that page there proves about all the little wins that you have. So yes, we all have the end goal, but the journey, man. Bruce Lee said it, man. Don't think about the journey, man. And that's what reminds me. That's my journey. You know, the past 10 years, that's my journey on there. So I think people need to start celebrating that and seeing it as more of It's your photo album. You know, yes, you do editing and the rest of it to make it look cool because you want to watch it and be reminded of that moment and what you think. Why do you think I picked those epic soundtracks? Because I could just imagine that if it was a movie, I see life as a movie as well. I think that's one thing that we have in common is we have those memories. Like when we see the kids, it's that movie feeling, like that movie soundtrack kicks in. You know, that AWOL soundtrack will always play in my head when he comes running back and their emotions and the rest of it, because I want that in real life. I want those moments to be movie life. I want my kids to know that, you know what I mean? That, like, you know, dad saw this like this. That's what he thought of when he saw it. When they, you know, oh, it's full on, man. But yeah, good times. Yeah, definitely. See it as that. See it as that. But yeah, negative. It's all negative, bro. Negative works. Negative gets a better push. You know, Bassem Youssef says it the best, bro. You know, he's seen our way of dark humor and sense to get people to see the reality. Sometimes that works better than putting positivity out there, which is, you know, hard enough as it is. Bro, continue. I just got to pick up the phone.
Yeah, any publicity is good publicity. I mean, that's the facts. That's the end of the day, to get things out there. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, listen, I feel like if The Rock, yeah, I mean, the guy's so popular anyway. I mean, people are gonna definitely check out the movie that he's gonna come out with. If it's cost $250 million, that's a big budget. That's like almost like, you know, Infinity War and Endgames was like a 500 million, right? So it's a big budget. It costs a lot of money. But I agree with what Kibla's saying. I think, you know, and I remember speaking to you know, a head journalist or head editor of where I work about that. You know, why is always news negative? You know, why people are attracted to negative news rather than positive news? Like, is there a publication out there that's just dedicated to positive news? I don't know. And maybe there is. I don't know. I've never seen one. But why is all the news going to be negative? Why are we so attracted to negativity? And we want to dig deeper into it, and then we build our own thoughts, and then we go into different teams and all this sort of stuff. Why isn't there nothing but positivity news? It's the way the human mind works, and I think there's an element of control there. You can control people better with negativity. You can divide people with negativity. When you divide people, they can't unite. So when you can't unite, you can't control them. There's so much to it. With positivity, you get people more uniting. And when people unite, when the people unite, there's a lot more things they could do. There's a lot more things they can overcome. And maybe that's what governments and world leaders don't want. I don't know. I'm going to a whole separate thing, but it's weird.
Sure.
It's weird that like, you know, negativity is definitely more attractive and whatnot. But yeah, there's some positive shit out there as well. Listen, social media has some positive things, and I think, you know, one of the benefits of social media is the word of what's happening in Palestine, like the truth of what's happening there, you know, as an example. So that's been a positive thing, because you can't, now you're seeing it real life, and you don't just sit there relying on the propaganda from the world, the mainstream media. Anyway.
No, exactly, bro. Cool. In other news, Once Upon a Time in the West, which is one of Dad's probably favorite movies, directed by Sergio Leone, who was the king of spaghetti Western movies, comes out on 4K Ultra on the 13th of May. And listen, this has got so much to it. Let me just quickly run through. You know, you got commentary by a host of Spaghetti Western podcast. You've got, this has just got loads on here. You got commentary from John Carpenter and other directors that absolutely adored this movie. This is like a 2-disc set. You've got the classic poster that comes with it, and you've got all of these photographs. And man, if you love collecting physical media, this is like one of those ones that you got to have. Like, now this film, Charles Bronson, is it Henry Fonda? Let me just get that name right. I don't want to mess that up, but it is, yeah, it's Henry Fonda. Henry, I'm going to say that wrong, and they're going to get me for that. But the amazing soundtrack by Enrico, hopefully I said this, Morricone, who was a staple stone of soundtracks when it comes to spaghetti Western movies. Now, this movie is, I don't know, man, like, talk about being tense in a moment. That was like the first, like they did it in Clint Eastwood movies, but this was like the one with the soundtrack that made you really feel uncomfortable and tense in that moment because it had that loud ding
Yeah, the
ding.
eyes. It was the
Yeah, and the
eyes. It was
eyes.
always
Yeah.
like zooming into the eyes and the intensity of the eyes. Yeah, no, this movie, I agree. First of all, like I said, it reminds me of Dad, right? There's always gonna have that emotional relationship with this movie
Yeah.
just because of Dad, and Dad used to bust the soundtrack. Like we love our soundtracks. It was Dad that kind of introduced us not only to Western movies but also enjoying movie soundtracks as
Yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, and then they're like, I feel like this movie and the way it was shot and the intensity of it, like I said, it's imitated in movies today. Like Quentin
Mm-hmm.
Tarantino loves his Western
Yeah, yeah.
movies and whatnot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and all these like movies out there that come out now, there's this inspiration that they take from like this movie and Westerns in general and whatnot. But I think it's that. And there was something about these movies, especially back then, where where they could just zoom in on the eyes and the face and have the soundtrack and just have an intense moment with no dialogue for like a good couple minutes, man. And they were able to pull it off. If you tried to do that now, they'd be like, kind of boring, man. Like, let's get on with some action. But there was an intensity back then, and the way they shot it, and we talk about this, the grittiness of the camera and whatnot. I know they're bringing it out in 4K, which is also great, but there's something to do with the environment where you can sit and enjoy and really feel an intensity of a 5-minute clip of just eyes looking at each other and music in the background. I love that, man.
I
But
mean, it's a jewel. It's amazing. I think Sergio Leone took big, a massive inspiration from Japanese cinema as well. The way of the samurai, he that's what it's kind of replicated into. When you talk about Ronin and The Last Samurai and the way those films were shot back then, all in the 60s and 70s, to seeing Western cowboy movies that came out, you can see where he got his inspiration from. And that close up with the eye scene, that's all from like Japanese and Chinese Hong Kong movies. And he's kind of replicated that in a way where it works for Italian spaghetti Western movies, which, still a king to this day, bro. The Good, Bad, and Ugly, bro. It's one of those movies, Fistful of Dollars, you're like staple corners of Western, cowboy movies. And Once Upon a Time in the West is probably one of the best ones that kind of sits up there. So, no, I
yeah,
just
and
wanted
they
to
had a
share that with you
way.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just gonna say they had a way
Yeah.
of making the characters look so cool. Like
Yeah.
Fist of the North Star. Remember Fist of the North Star? It almost feels like when Ken Shido is walking in, he's the main character. There's destruction going on, but it's just this calmness of walking in and just looking so cool, just looking so like this is the good guy. This is the hero
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
movie. But they were able to replicate that with many of all the different characters, not just the good guys and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
bad guys,
That's right.
but everyone just looked really cool and intense, and there's just an epicness about it. Like you feel like when you're walking through the streets and the wind blows, you feel like a part of these movies. You know what I mean? They were able to
Yeah,
capture
yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of
Exactly
memory
that.
on screen.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Now listen, guys, comes out on the 13th. If you're a physical media collector like I am, then it's definitely one to have in the collection. I'm definitely going to get this for Dad. I'm sure he'll enjoy it. Yeah, so looking forward to that. And 4K, I mean, it's a difficult one to see how they're going to restore it and how it looks because that grittiness does give it that feel, but hopefully it doesn't take that away. I think it's just more of a cleaner look for the 4K resolution. But yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys.
Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, check the description for the full podcast episode. And while you're at it, show some love and click that subscribe and like button.